S Darko is one of the greatest films I've ever seen. I mean, it's just so groundbreaking. So, I mean, I can't think of anything better which came out in 2009. It is the greatest film which came out in 2009. There is nothing else which beats this. It's so amazing. I can't keep this up. Time to be bitchy. S Darko is the sequel nobody wanted. It's the sequel to Donnie Darko, the 2001 film, which is probably one of my favourite films of all time. It's just so complex and how it works, but this film just appears to be a rip-off of it. I mean, it constantly just tries to remind you of, oh, you remember this film? Oh, it's the same universe, same everything, you know. Oh, you remember this film? You remember it? It's just, it crams it in your face. I mean, for example, there's just too many similarities. I mean, there's a cinema scene, a place burns down, a car crash, ghost character dies at the end, the male character dies to prevent everything, montage at the end showing characters, although there's no mad world. Strangely enough. It just doesn't have the charm of the first one. Mind, no one fucking cares about this film. It's just, even the director didn't care about this film. He didn't even want this to be made. He didn't even look at the script or anything. It wasn't the same director. It was just so bad to watch. I mean, it's just really cringy as well with certain things, which are awful to watch. I think the main example is there's a bit where the main love interest goes, "Oh, hi, I don't know you very well. Do you want to see my dead brother's room? Oh, you can't sit in here. Oh, this is really creepy. No fucking shit." It's just so... it just doesn't have a charm. Like I said, it's fucking awful. A thing which doesn't help the film is the effects just look so outdated compared to what else came out in 2009. I mean, you got Avatar, which came out, which is probably the best CGI I've ever seen in a film. Like, just with motion capture and everything, all the behind the scenes thing, that is amazing. You've got Watchmen by Zack Snyder. It's just, when you compare the two things, it just looks outdated and it doesn't work. The effects just look awful compared to stuff like the fire looks bad. It just looks really, really crap. So the story was really, well, I'd say interesting, but that's giving way too much credit. It's just, it didn't work. Like, they tried to change, it kept the same Donnie Darko style story, but they just tried to change it too much. But yet, somehow they changed it, yet it was still too similar. It sounds really confusing. It's just like, there's certain things, like the film kills off the main character 45 minutes in, and then 15 minutes bring her back, and it's just, most of the time I was asking what actually is going on, because at least with Donnie Darko, you kind of understand, oh, he's a bit mental, and stuff like that. You never get that with Samantha, I think her name. Yeah, that's her name. Look, I can't even remember the name of her, and I just watched the film. It's just, the idea just doesn't work. Like, the narrative is all over the place. I was constantly thinking, wait, have they actually reversed time or not? Have they actually done anything? At least Donnie Darko had a forward straight narrative, in which case it just time travelled at the end. All the events were still in order, but this is just so fucked up. They tried to change it too much. Another thing that was quite weird was they tried to change the roles around. I think just trying to be different. In Donnie Darko, you had Frank and you had Donnie. And it worked in a way that Frank was sort of a messenger kind of style person, and then Donnie is obviously the main character. But for this film, it just felt like they reversed the roles. So, like, instead you've got Sam as, like, the sort of Frank role, trying to tell this random fuck-off person, which I don't even think his name. I think his name's, like, Jack Sparrow or something. No, not that one. I think he's related to Roberta Sparrow from the first one or something. Just like a little shitty subplot there. But it was just so... They tried to change it too much, and it just didn't work in their favour. It was just like, oh, you've done this, oh, we're trying to be different, but it just doesn't work. Oh, there's also this fucking kid who tries to... He's like, oh, I am like Frank. Oh, I'm actually dead, but I'm not. Oh, scary. It's just off. It's just so fucking weird. It just doesn't work. But the reason why Frank and Donnie work is because Frank is just a creepy character, and we don't get the same creepiness at this. I mean, there's a few shot things where it's kind of creepy, but it just doesn't keep the same style or tenseness of the first one. It was just so frustrating to watch. So the main question is it the worst film I've ever seen? Not by a long shot, but it's still pretty bad. I mean, there were some nice shots in the film. Like, there's a nice little shot where Frankie person, Jack Sparrow person. Look, I can't even remember his name. He's like peering over a cliff, and that looked quite creepy, but just nothing else was really. It was all just meh throughout the thing. There's an okay jump scare. There were some nice shots, like I said. But it's just so. Ugh. I mean, the soundtrack, when the soundtrack works, it works, and when it doesn't, it fucking fails. Like, the songs just seem out of place for, like, the sort of genre of the film. It just doesn't work. I quite find it hard just to find, like, to say something nice about this film. Considering Donnie Darko is one of my favourite films. It's just so weird. I actually put in the notes that at least Dragon Ball Evolution came out this year, and that's a review for another fucking time. So, Vroom's verdict. Well, it's bad, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. So, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10. So, like I said, normally if you enjoy this sort of review, let me know, and I will catch you all in the next one.